Just talk a little bit about coming out of Air Force and then staying on the road and needing to get the win at SEMO.
Well, I mean, we're learning. We at DePaul, we played a pretty good game. We just didn't finish. But we played pretty good basketball. We played poorly at Air Force. We had an overall poor performance, but I think we'll learn from it. Give them a lot of credit. Our defense really struggled, but part of it was because we took bad shots, and we'll get better from it. As I said, we still had opportunities there late to cut it to 2 possessions. As poorly as we played, there were opportunities for us. But we played a really good team in a unique situation. As I said, it's not we want to win them all. I was very disappointed with how we played, but we just have to keep getting better.
How big of a gap is it between what you see as your team's potential versus where you are now?
Well, I think there's a big gap because I think a lot of coaches probably could say that with their team this year, early in the year. So I like our guys. Like I said, we've lost 2 road games. It's very difficult to win on the road. One game we were in position to win. The other game we weren't in position. We played poorly. So I think these guys they've always come back and responded the right way. I think we've got a chance to be very good. But there's going to be setbacks. We're not to that point to where we're winning them all. But if these guys stick with it, a guy like Alizé Johnson on 2 road games, he struggled, but he'll learn from it. After the DePaul game, he came back and had a double-double. Jared Rhodes did some very good things for us on the road. We need guys to play better. You have to be clicking and play your best basketball to get a road win.
Knowing that you don't have church, and these guys knowing for a week, do you think that's a little bit easier preparation-wise as opposed to Air Force, like maybe they think he could have been there? Or?
No, I don't think that had anything to do with it. Air Force is just a unique situation in terms of their system and how they do things that we've just never faced before, and we didn't handle it the right way. So I don't think that has anything to do with whether Obi's playing or not.
You guys got about halfway through the non-conference open at UNI. You know, how much improvement do you need to make in this last half of the non-conference season to be able to compete
Well, I mean,
there?
you want to keep improving.
Right.
I mean, like, we're not a finished product. I would think every team in the country probably thinks they need to keep improving and continue to improve all the way to the end of the season. I think a guy like Daquan Miller, you guys just talked to, he improved the entire year last year. He got better, and we still – it's just his second year of college basketball. It's just Jared Dixon's second year of college basketball. So guys have to keep improving. We don't have a lot of savvy vets out there that have got a lot of experience under their belt. The most experience we've got is Austin Reuter and Chris Kendricks, and then we got Tyler McCullough back last game, but he doesn't practice.
But significant improvement you need to make, keep going?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. So we want to improve not more than significant. We want to improve drastically in a lot of areas, and I think there's a lot of areas that we can improve drastically in.
So it's like Tyler, like Tamba Ali, he just doesn't practice to keep him fresh for the games, or is that his situation now? Or?
No, it's not to keep him fresh. He just, it is what it is. Practice is not going to do him any good. If he can give us something and the shoulder's in position to where he can give us 10 minutes. I thought he gave us what he could give us. I thought he played up to his ability for not practice and did some good things defensively, and that helped us. And that's where that's where we need him. We need him as that big body, as that rim protector.
Exactly, especially if Church isn't there.
Right.
Kind of getting it.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about SEMO? 4 starters coming back, 4-14, but hasn't lost at home.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they're very good. They're going to have a good year in the Ohio Valley. I watched them against Indiana the other day, and they played a very competitive first half, and Indiana pulled away. They led at Illinois most of the first half. They've won a true road game. They've got 2 guys that are excellent players. Rick's an excellent coach, and this will be a big game for them, but it's also a big game for us. They're talented, they're long, they're athletic. It's going to be a very good challenge for us.
How important is it to get this first road win and get that part of your...
All wins are important. I mean, like, we want to get every win we can get. They're all important.
I'm doing something on Reuter. I mean, can you talk about how inspirational it is for him to come back, to have someone to set backs and come back and be in a position to contribute for you guys?
I do. I think it's important, and I still don't think he's still knocking some rust off. there's no doubt he can shoot the basketball, but I still think he's getting in game shape. He didn't practice all preseason, so getting back to the improvement part, guys will continue to improve. We need to improve, but I think in terms of Austin, it's great having him out there because he does understand what's going on. He does understand of how hard it was going to be to go on that first road trip at DePaul. While maybe some of our other guys learned that, he does understand. He's been through college basketball, so it's nice to have him out here and be engaged each and every day because he can be a stabilizing force.
Was he that close to giving it up with the injuries?
I'm sure it's probably really hard for him. He's been out a lot. He's had a lot of injuries, and that hip was a real problem, but he stuck with it, and we still have to be careful with him. But yet, it's a fine line because he needs to get into some practice and get in some reps, and everything up to this point has gone very smoothly, and we need him.
Do you have other rest games kind of plotted out for him, or is that something you keep in
Probably
mind?
not. Probably not now. It's getting into the heart of our schedule, but yet I'm not opposed to that because it is a long season.
So you have to be smart with it, right?
That's exactly right. And like we've got a lot of games ahead of us. We want to win them all, but like we're not going to put a guy out there if he's not ready to go. And if down the road it can help us in terms of with the whole season's ahead of us.